Today, September 3, the memorial of Pope Gregory the Great, Pope and Doctor of the Church. Gregory, before he became Pope, happened to see some Anglo-Saxon slaves for sale in a Roman marketplace. He asked about the race of the remarkable blond men and was told that they were Anglos. "Not Anglos, but angels," he said in reply. As a result, it is said that Gregory was later inspired to send missionaries to England. Gregory descended from the Roman nobles with a strong legacy of Christian faith. He was related to the two previous popes, Felix III and Agapetus I. His aunts were nuns, and his parents joined cloisters in their later years. He was raised in Rome when it was only a shell of its former glory. By the age of 30, he was the chief administrative official of the city, responsible for finances, police, provisioning, and public works, an experience that helped him don his administrative skills and, together with his personal wealth, gave him the opportunity to create 6 monasteries. Yet, Gregory remained dissatisfied, and upon his father's death in 574, he converted his house into a monastery and retired to a life of contemplation and prayer. During these years, the happiest in Gregory's life, he began a detailed study of the scriptures. Here, he also ruined his health with fasting, a sacrifice that would precipitate his early death. His administrative skills did not remain unappreciated. In 577, Pope Benedict appointed Gregory one of the 7 deacons of Rome, and Pope Pelagius II sent him to Constantinople in 578 as a representative to the imperial court, and then later recalled him to a service as his confidential advisor. In 589, a flood destroyed the grain reserves of Rome, instigating a famine and then a plague that swept through Rome and killed Pope Pelagius. Gregory was elected to succeed him. Though he had tried to refuse the office, once elected, he went to work with vigor. To deal with famine, Gregory instituted a citywide penance, fed people from the church's granaries, and organized systematic relief for the poor. Gregory then set himself reforming the church. He removed high officials for pride and misdeeds, enforced celibacy, replaced lay officers with monks, and initiated a reorganization of the patrimony of Peter, the vast land holdings of the church. The efficient and humane management of these estates brought in the revenue necessary to run the church, as well as perform tasks the imperial government was neglecting. An attack by the Lombard invaders in 592 and the inactions of the imperial representative forced Gregory to negotiate an end to the siege of Rome. When the imperial representative broke the truce in 593, Gregory purchased a separate peace treaty with tributes from the church offers. By this time, in Roman history, the Pope had become the unofficial civil ruler of Italy, appointing generals, arranging relief, rallying cities to the defense, and paying the salaries of soldiers. Gregory also was actively concerned about the work of priests. He wrote a book of instruction for bishops on pastoral care, in which he wrote, "Act in such a way that your humility may not be weakness, nor your authority be severity. Justice must be accompanied with humility, that humility may render justice lovable. It became a manual for holy life throughout the Middle Ages. Gregory believed that preaching was one of the clergy's primary duties, and he conducted a preaching tour of area churches. His homilies on the Gospels were published in 591 and widely used for hundreds of years. In 593, Gregory published his Dialogues, a history of the lives of the Italian saints, as well as his sermons on Ezekiel and the Song of Songs. In 595, he published his allegorical exposition of Job, Moralia, and made changes to the liturgy. His interest in the church music has been honored as well. His name has been given to the plain song Gregorian chant that developed over the next few hundred of years. His frequent correspondence across the world shows him well aware of evangelistic opportunities in Britain. So it is not surprising that in 596, he sent Augustine along with 40 monks on a mission to these far corners of the world. Gregory set a high mark of the medieval papacy. He defended the primacy of the chair of Peter against even the smallest slight. He reconciled many independent bishops to Rome by humble appeals, not defending his personal rights, but those of the institutions. He was the first pope to call himself Servus Servorum Dei, the servant of the servants of God, a title still in use today. The administrative framework he set in place for the management of the church lands made possible the development of the papal states. His encouragement of the monastic life, his friendship with the kings of Spain and Gaul, and his differential yet independent relationship with the emperor set a pattern for the church-state relations for centuries. He is one of the four great Latin doctors of the Church, along with Saint Ambrose, Augustine, and Jerome, and upon his death, he was named a saint by popular acclaim.